Welcome back everyone. You may be experiencing some issues with your PlayStation 5 where the console is just overheating like crazy. Now this can happen for a lot of different reasons. There's not just one reason, but I'll go ahead and break down the most common things right now. So the very first thing I would recommend doing, as always, this is like the number one thing for any console really, is to double check that your PlayStation 5 has enough room around it that it can go ahead and pretty much breathe properly. And what I mean by that is cold air comes into the PlayStation 5 with the fans and hot air comes out of the PlayStation 5 through the exhaust. It's something along those lines, you know what I mean? So you want to go ahead and make sure nothing is covering the vents, and you want to make sure there's enough room for things to come into the PS5 and for the hot air to come out of the PlayStation 5. Now I've seen a lot of people put their consoles in an area where it's like neck to neck with right next to like something else, like a bookshelf or their TV shelf or something like that. And if you have enough space, then go for it. But if your PlayStation 5 is like right up against the wall and there's very little room and it's overheating like crazy, I've also seen things like if it's on like the carpet or, covered up in some way, this can overheat your console an insane amount. So this is by far the number one thing I would recommend doing. You will not believe, whether you have a computer, whether you have a MacBook, even an iPhone, if you have it kind of like, wrapped up in something, it's going to get warm eventually, especially with the PlayStation 5 playing these heavy intensive games. You need it to have enough space for it to breathe properly, and that is pretty much the number one thing. Do not put your PlayStation 5 in like a super narrow space where there's very little room for it to breathe. Now some other things, that's like the number one thing. Some other things to go ahead and pretty much fix this is to essentially let your PlayStation 5 cool down. If you're playing a bunch of these heavy games over and over and over again, hour after hour, eventually it's going to come to a point where your PlayStation 5 is going to go ahead and heat up a little bit. It may start off as a little bit, but once these games get heavier and heavier, it's going to probably, take a toll on the PlayStation 5 eventually. So by far, the other thing I would recommend doing at this point is to make sure that your PlayStation 5 is able to go ahead and, be calmed down every once in a while. Again, if you're playing these heavy intensive games all day, for days and days on end, it doesn't really matter what you do, it's going to get heated up eventually. Another thing I would probably recommend doing as well is to actually go ahead and software update your PlayStation 5. As a lot of you know, if you're on a super old outdated version of PlayStation software, I don't remember what it's called, you're probably not going to be getting the newer things that Sony's been putting out. There may actually be a specific problem that may have been plagued on a specific software version, but you may not experience that anymore, mostly because it's outdated. So you have to go ahead and update your PlayStation software, and that may actually go ahead and fix that for the most part as well. Now on top of this, some other things you can do, as I mentioned, there's a lot of hardware things that can go bad. You can have a bad GPU, the heatsink may be all messed up and everything, but typically these are the easiest things to do to fix your PlayStation 5 overheating. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my other channels. More importantly, everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.